Hey guys, Lemur here. I know it's been a while. Just wanted to do a quick VOD review of a game I played, I believe, yesterday against a Yone as Ahri. Currently Challenger 549 LP right now. Fell out of Challenger for a bit, but we're back, and I'm feeling pretty confident in my play recently. Um, I think in the past few weeks, there was like not a lot of games that I really wanted to review and make a video for. Not that I didn't review them myself, but just make a video in general, because I don't feel like I played particularly well. But this game, I was really happy with how I played, and there's definitely a lot of things that we can learn from this game. So we'll be taking a look at this game. We're not going to be taking a look at the entire game, because once, we start winning, there's really not much to do except for go through the motions of, killing each tower and winning. But Ahri versus Yone is a matchup that I used to hate a lot, but actually now, now that Yone's been kind of semi-nerfed with the healing being reduced and stuff, it's a lot more manageable than it was before. I think I've just also gotten better at playing against Yone as a champion. So generally one of the things that we're going to be keeping in mind when we're against Yone is he is a manaless champion, and so he will generally out-sustain us. So we're always going to be making sure that we get good recall timings, and that is probably the most important thing in our lane. Because if we don't have good recall timings, then he's going to continuously push us in, and we're going to farm, and he's going to end up getting good roams off, and we aren't. Well, let's just get into the lane phase. So here I just see him. The lane phase has started already right now. If I was against a ranged character like Orianna or Syndra, I would already be hitting this wave, but since I'm against a melee character that can't really control the wave right now, I'm not going to be touching the wave. It's a very important thing. We want to try to abuse when we're level 2 longer than when he is level. We're going to try to abuse when he is level 1 while we're level 2 for as long as possible. And so we just want to get a small minion advantage here, and I make sure I just try to get these low where I can last hit them. So here you can opt to take W or Q. I think I opt to take Q, but W is also a perfectly fine choice. And then one thing to note is we could take note of Yone's starting items. Some Yones will go Doran's Shield, some Yones will go Doran's Blade. I think it's just kind of preference on them. Doran's Shield is obviously a lot more defensive, so that's just something that we need to be keeping in mind. It's going to be very hard to poke him out. And so generally, I would say like your poke should be used to zone him off minions, not really necessarily to try to kill him. Like notice how we were able to trade with Q very efficiently there, whereas W we actually wouldn't have got as good of a trade, but maybe we would get more trades off. Here we could decide to take W or E. We ended up taking W and then we leveled it up slightly too late and then we didn't end up. So still pretty good for us. We have our passive ready, so we were able to just use it on the wave. Luckily he runs into the wave. We get a nice little trade on him. So one thing, if you are paying attention, you noticed we saw that Diana started over here and she did her red side. So we know Diana's on the top side right now because of our ward earlier that our Rumble placed. Something that we should be keeping in mind. So you would assume that Diana would be pathing to her blue side. As junglers do, is they generally will, kill their camps and then they'll go to this side, especially if they're a farming jungler, which Diana is kind of a new upcoming jungler because they just recently buffed her. But she does have some level 3 gank potential, but a lot of the times you'll see her clear really fast because she excels at it very, very quickly. But as you can see, this is completely unexpected. And that's how it happens. So what can we assume happened? How did Diana get to this? Um, so one of the things that we can go through our mind is she's level 3 and she doesn't have blue, okay? This is a very critical point in the game. This is kind of where the game changes everything. The whole game gets flipped upside down from this point onwards because Diana ganks me while not having blue. So what this tells us is if I press tab, she has 12 CS because there's no way she can get here and around without having more than 12 CS. So what she actually does is she does red, then she does Krugs, then she does Raptors, and then she actually wrapped around and went for the gank on me. She didn't have time to do Wolf, she didn't have time to do Blue, she didn't have the buff, and she didn't do Gromp, alright? And so what this tells our Kha'Zix is that her entire side is up right here, and she's low because I just chunked her. I retaliated back. I didn't just let her hit me. Like, we can watch it again. Right here. So right here, I'm not expecting her to gank me at all. It's very, very surprising that she went for this. Very, very surprising. So I was not expecting this gank at all. Especially you could probably tell based on my movements. I was like not paying attention at all. We ping blue like they might be at blue. We are not expecting this one. Here she just E's, and I don't want all my HP going away. However, I didn't notice she just used E, so I was probably fine. I didn't want to get queued by Yone either. But landing this charm on her is really good for us because we end up chunking her out. And so why this is so good is we can watch the next few seconds on what our Kha'Zix does. So what we notice is our Kha'Zix is already walking to invade, okay? And so the most important thing that we could do right now is we could chug our corrupting pot, and we need to get this wave in as soon as possible. Literally as fast as possible, and we need to go back up our Kha'Zix, because we don't want this Yone to be able to back up before we can. So that's kind of the goal. We kind of want this wave to crash and us to walk through here. Is kind of the huge goal that we want. And so this trade's actually really dumb by the Yone. The Yone should be completely focused on his wave. He doesn't realize that the Kha'Zix is going for this invade. And even that Q was maybe even bad for me. We did give him a bit low, but I think ideally that Q is used on the wave. As you can see, the Kha'Zix invades, he kills the Diana. I essentially got an assist there, you know, I got her to fucking half health, but um, that's kind of how it worked out, and then I just get my recall now. So that was really, really, really good for our team because we were able to shut down their jungler. Our Kha'Zix is going to steal the blue, and I'm going to get this recall off. So super nice that we ended up turning that kind of weird situation where I get ganked unexpectedly into a win. And that's not only because the Kha'Zix was smart into invade there, but it was also because I was shoving the wave in because I knew my Kha'Zix was going for an invade. It was really hard for the Yone to actually go help her Diana or his Diana because he was already pushed under tower and he didn't want to lose too many minions. And he also went in on a trade for me. So just the most important thing to take away from that is like using your lane state to coordinate with your jungler. It's always something that to keep in mind. And then if you're a jungler, is like punish the enemy jungler when the jungler goes for a gank like that. Super important. Alright, so what am I doing with my wave now? So I have two options. I can either build up a slow push with this. I've already started hitting, not anymore, it's a pretty much fast push now. But I could have built up a slow push and then crashed it on his turret. Maybe we could go for a dive or something. Kha'Zix still needs to be, so probably not a viable thing. Or I can go for a hard shove and I can get my control ward out and my normal ward out. So I think that's kind of my thought process here is like my Rumble's kind of getting camped a bit. Or not camped a bit, but just like ganked currently, and he's already losing because he got solo killed. And so I want to try to get vision, probably top side for him. I think is my general idea, and then also protect Kha'Zix's blue side camps. I think that was actually my idea during the game. Since Kha'Zix is gonna go B here probably, or do his Krugs, I want to protect his blue side camps. That's kind of the idea. There I just checked Diana's HP really fast and my F keys. And then here, yep. I'm going to the top side because I want to protect Diana, or my Kha'Zix's camps from Diana. And for some reason this is warded. I don't know who placed this. Interesting. I guess Diana did. I charm this to break the shield, and then we end up getting the grab. So that's really good for us. And then Diana's kind of like zoned out from our jungle as well. So super, super good for our team. So Rumble and I like kind of helped our Kha'Zix out, protect his blue side there. That's kind of the important thing was I pushed that previous wave because my intention was to protect our blue side jungle. It's kind of working with our lane state to achieve what we want. Play for jungle. Jungle's broken, so you have to play for it. So we're getting a little bit low on mana, and remember our lose condition is kind of just like running out of mana. So, but we do have our corrupting pot charges, so it's always something that we need to keep in mind. But I think right here I just start, just only using autos pretty much, only using W for trades. Kind of the general idea. You want to just try to conserve your mana. A small little tidbit is just like when you're in lane, is if you click around your character a lot faster, it's a lot easier to control your character. I did it for a while, like maybe a year and a half ago, but I started to do it like very on purpose more recently, and it's just helped a lot with this dodging stuff. Obviously, there's not much to dodge against Yone, but it makes you very quick on your feet when you're doing it. Just a small tip. Here our Karma and our Rumble are going for a gank. I'm not level 6, and then it looks like it's warded out, so he's playing very far back. So ends up probably not being good. Here, if I didn't actually hit the cannon, I probably would have got to that last hit, but he could have just eat out of it. So it's never really a gank that works. It was like a good try by my team. At least applied some pressure. Maybe zoned him off 1 XP or something. So let's take a look at the map. So what is happening with our team right now is our Karma and our Kazakhs are grouped up. Our Rumble is catching his wave since he used his time to run mid, so he has to catch his wave now. So what is my goal currently? One of the things I can do is I can set up for a gank, potentially. I'm about to hit 6, so maybe that's an opportunity. Another thing I could do is I can push out this wave, and then I can run into river with them. Maybe we can go on some play, maybe we can do dragon, maybe we can invade. Um, that's also another play. We know her camps are probably coming up now, so maybe we can find Diana. I'm curious what I do here. I think since I'm low mana, I'm just going to last hit. However, if I was full mana, maybe I would decide to push this. I think just last sitting here fine is fine, and then just kind of like setting up for my team if they want to go for a gank. And our Kha'Zix plays that super well. And then I kind of end there. I shouldn't have gone for that. He lived with 17 health, but I think I had my W up, but I would die because I would have to tank the tower one more time. But maybe if I used my biscuit earlier, I would have enough mana. Don't remember exactly. We could take a look at it. I think it's kind of important. So if I use my biscuit earlier, I can R charm right now. I was hoping to save my R, I think is the idea here. Yeah, so if I biscuit now, I don't get the mana because I still have the biscuits running and I have to wait for it to run out, then I'll get the mana. I actually have enough in 1 second, so yeah, I think this should be a kill. I R auto R. No, I can't. I can't without dying. Can I get this kill? Sorry, I need to look at this for my own sanity. Land the full Q. Maybe I should charm during his R right there because I know Kha'Zix will take it. Maybe that's the play. And my charm always hits. I guess if Kha'Zix tanked the tower also, there was a world where we kill him. Maybe it's potentially good to die here for him. If I die first, have the Ignite kill him, I get more Dark Seal stacks. Not sure. Maybe I just don't ult there, and we just take the ult and the flash. Kind of a hard decision to make. But I'm glad I went for the RN, and I think it was kind of fine. Hero's a little upset that he stayed because he shouldn't be able to get this way, but my Kha'Zix ran top. But at this point, he can kind of almost kill me because I'm low mana. It's kind of just the nature of the matchup. So one of the things that I decide to stay on is since I don't have enough mana for Dark Seal, or I mean Lost Chapter, I decide to try to stay. I know I'm relatively safe. He has no flash or R, so he has very little ways of getting on me, and if he just E's at me, I'm just gonna W away, or I'm gonna kill him, either one. And then I also knew I had my passive up, so very simple in that regard to make that decision. I want to make sure I land all these last hits. And then ideally I just like don't miss a minion earlier so that I would have enough for Lost Chapter. It kind of really sucks that I don't get it. So I end up having a pretty scuffed buy. Having a control word is also nice. But yeah, ideally obviously I have a Lost Chapter there. I don't miss one of those last hits. So it's still a pretty even game. It's 2-2. I'm 0-0-0. So anything can really happen, but we have been getting our Kha'Zix ahead, and I think our Karma's been doing a good job as well. As she dies. So here, Yone walks down. I know I can't really follow him because I think he has his ult up and I don't. And so I just like lose that fight and I lose a ton of mana. And so it's really just not worth going for. Yone could go for a dive on Vayne here. We can kind of see based on the fight when we look down, the Karma died, and then we see Vayne has like no HP. So there's a reality where Yone walks down and just kills Vayne. So if that reality happens, me chasing after him is not going to do anything. And so when that happens, I should be already pushing mid and trying to get maybe 2 plates. So that's kind of the idea is. Because if we walk down there, all we're going to be doing is catching a wave. That's really not worth it. So I think I decided to go down now because I have my ult available. But before I didn't. Whereas, you know, and when I mean I have my ult available, it's like up in 10 seconds. So it'll be up by the time I get down here. So here our entire team thought Yone was coming bottom, like Kha'Zix pinged Yone, so it kind of made the play awkward. If we had true vision of Yone, this play would have been a lot easier. Here I used my charm and she flashed it. Maybe I could have waited there. Here, charm, very good. And then I kite back, but I should be walking forward. I kited back for maybe a half a second or so, and I should be walking forward here. And maybe I wouldn't have to use my charm. So slight mistake, or not use my flash. It's a slight mistake there. Then we're just gonna let them push in the wave, and we're gonna recall. So that was really good for my team. We could take a look at it again, see if we played everything correctly. Here we're walking down because we don't know if Yone is. Then we see Yone, and then we have our ult up. So looks like a pretty good roam. Obviously, she flashes my charm. Good by her. She should always flash it. I felt obligated to charm right then because my Kha'Zix is dying. That's kind of the reason. Otherwise, if he wasn't dying, I would save it for a bit longer and like throw my Q out and then make her, you know, flash my Q and then charm her. But since my Kha'Zix is dying, I needed to CC her. Oh. But in reality, maybe my charm did save him because she flashed it out. I don't know whether she was actually paying attention to my charm or if she was flashing the first spell that came. But she did flash away from my Kha'Zix, who she probably could have killed. So that was pretty nice. And then here I have my Q2 slightly hit her, which was very good. Ward the bush, R to the side. And then here we move up, and I didn't want to move up, but Karma kept pinging, and so I decided to move up, but I knew Yone was coming, so I kind of was really hesitant. And then I missed my Qs. That was pretty... Then we land the charm. Yone kills Kha'Zix with his ignite in his E. And then yeah, we just Q flash. Yeah. So with that, we're probably going to buy Lost Chapter and CDR boots, I'd imagine. Yep, that's exactly what we do. We have 6 Dark Seal stacks, so we're doing pretty good now. We're 202. So right here, we have our setup with Karma and Kha'Zix on the right. This should be something that Yone should know would happen because Karma has no obligation to be bottom and she went B pretty early. He knows that I have no R, so he feels pretty safe. But you know, we're set up for this gank, so I'm just gonna predict his Q. And he actually reacts in time, which was pretty impressive during the game that he reacts to my E here. But you know, it ends up killing him because he has to go back. You know, but I think that was a Obviously a misplay by him, but he almost like recovered it pretty well. I've never had a Yone like Q3 and then E right after to like dodge the charm. I thought that was pretty interesting. Here, our Rumble and Kha'Zix want to do Baron. I let my team know I want to push this wave first, and then I'll walk over. Since I don't do much damage to Herald, it's not really that worth it for me to actually go to Herald, like unless I'm like zoning off enemies. Here, I didn't think she'd try to like do that to me. Like I don't know why she tried that. So not getting the kill there isn't like a huge deal because I should never get the kill there. So like I wasn't like pressed that she got away with like 10% health. I was just like, nice, cool. She just like let me hit her for free. I guess that Diana has like a habit of, just letting me hit her for free. Here, since I don't have Ignite up, I don't feel super comfortable going for a dive with Yone behind me. But then ends up being a little bit sketch. The Rumble runs behind the turret. And here we go. We know Diana has no flash, so it's just an easy charm, and then we know Yone's over here. One thing that you'll notice is I am putting 2 points into E, and I think I max E this game. I think E max is heavily underrated right now on Ahri, or like E max second. I'll probably be making a video talking about my opinion on that as well, because I think that I'm one of the only Ahri players in high elo doing it right now, besides if you're put support. But I think with all these people building CDR boots for no reason, it's like literally makes Ahri an S tier champion if you max E second, so. Scuffed bot lane. So notice in all these plays is I know they're happening and I know I can get to them, but since I don't have my R, I'm not really going. Um, I think that's like the important takeaway is like I can't really do anything without my R, so I'm gonna be picking up waves and like you know being useful to my team while my R is down. And then my R is coming back up, so I'm gonna be looking to make a play as soon as it comes back up. And so this is the second time this game where it's like my R's up in 10 seconds and I'm like going to the play as my R is coming up. It's like if I'm building CDR boots and Lost Chapter also has CDR on it, I'm going to make or ability haste now, whatever you want to call it. Like I'm going to make use of that ability haste. If you're not using that ability haste, then I don't think it's a like very worthwhile stat. For instance, the Ahri players in LCS, whenever they were picking Ahri, they'd go CDR boots, Cosmic Drive, Zhonya's, and they're only using their R once every 5 minutes. I thought that was extremely pointless. Whereas in solo queue games, you're using your R on cooldown. So um, I think they are heavily misguided on actually what to build. Obviously, the ability haste works on your charm too, but I think that you're pretty much only going to be getting one charm or two charms. If a fight lasts long enough, you're probably going to be getting two charms no matter what. So I think building damage is just better in LCS, but they just kept building Cosmic Drive every game and doing no damage. So there I land the charm, and then he's obviously going to orange it, so we're kind of in like a weird spot. And I just get the kill. And then I thought I had to go chase after him, but I should have just walked back top if I looked more appropriately and quicker. Good job by our Kha'Zix. Give him a little ping. Everyone likes to be a good job. And ideally I don't charm that, but I don't know. I was just thinking about going back soon anyways, and no one could be top right now. We see everyone on the map. We see their bot lane bot, we see Gangplank mid, and then we see Yone and Diana dead. So I think I actually get this tower. I should be going for this tower because there's no one here that can stop me. Yep. So I'm just getting tower because there's no one else to stop me. Whereas now Yone is respawning, so he'll be. Oh, we don't know where Diana is either. So my R is coming back up, and so we're going to be looking to make a play with our R soon. I expect myself to run mid here and probably be looking something with my R. So my R is coming up and I'm walking to the play again. Maybe the play is actually bot here. It might not be mid. No, it looks mid. This guy's staying, yeah. He's fucking dead. No. And then we're just going to use our R and we get the kill. Very nice. So we notice their bot lane going B. Just gonna hit this tower. Yeah, and I expect Lulu Jinx to come mid, but they might not. Oh, there they are. Got a nice deep control ward. Probably not a very good control ward actually, because they can just kill it and we can't really defend it right now. Rumble should ideally go top right now. Yeah, he's just gonna kill it, isn't he? So yeah, that was a bad control ward. Here I can go B for potentially Fiendish Codex, or I could be going for a large rod or stick alternator. I'm not sure what I'm buying. I was gonna walk for a play bot lane, but we don't have Kha'Zix down there and our bot lane's going B, so probably just better just to go for Herald, yep. And so here's one of the plays where it's like we have nothing going on the map, and so I'm just gonna last hit. I think I only last hit for a tiny amount of time, but I denied like 2 creeps, I think. But then I realized that my Kha'Zix is pretty deep. If my Kha'Zix wasn't like deep in their jungle right now, I definitely wouldn't push this. But if like the Kha'Zix is that deep and he sees me mid, he's probably expecting I'm gonna push it. So yeah. I don't know where Lulu is, and Lulu fuck up Kha'Zix, so I let him know. And it looks like he's warded out. And here I missed the charm on that guy. My Kha'Zix might live if I land the charm. There I did my combo kind of slow. Here a Rumble kind of flash for no reason. I could get the kill maybe if I W auto ignite and flash, but I don't think it's worth it. So I'm glad I didn't follow my Rumble. But yeah, if you notice there, like the Diana was CC'd for like 2 seconds. Or 1.75, I believe. I had 4 points in Charm. This is very nice. I think she has Merc Treads now. I don't know if she had them before. But it's very nice that a champion like Yone, who will always build Berserker Greaves, very to max Charm second. But I think with maxing Charm second, you should always go Everfrost. And then here I'm pulling the creeps up here because I noticed my Karma recalling and Vision. She should just like move back more and then recall. So I decided to like try to keep it out of Vision. So just a small thing is like helping your team recall, helping your team not be dumb. The minions might see her, but like the thought was there. You know, the intention was there at least. Oh no, Diana went Sork Boots. I lied. Yeah, so she's getting charmed for a 1.75 or 1.85 or whatever it is. And now here's my second item decision. So one of the things to keep in mind is my team has a lot of damage. We have Rumble, we have Kha'Zix, we have Vayne, and Karma. Even Karma does like a good amount of damage. I'm also against Yone, who, you know, Zanya's is a good item against Yone because you can Zanya's his ulti. Doesn't actually, the armor doesn't like do an insane amount because he does magic damage and true damage, but being able to Zanya's his ult is super good. Um, but the real reason I go Zanya's this game is because I need to be kind of like a frontline for my team. I need to play kind of like a Kali where I need to go in and kind of new age tank them, where I kind of uh, absorb some of the pressure in team fights as well as some of their abilities with my Zanyas. That's kind of like how I like to think about it, is like I'm gonna be playing like a Kali in these fights. Is I'm gonna be going in and kind of just soaking attention while I use my charm to like try to kill someone with my team. Um, this is not a game that I am playing backline Ahri. This is not a game where I'm playing like assassin Ahri, because we don't really need that. We have enough damage. And so this is a game where I want to play like kind of tanky-ish Ahri or engage Ahri, kind of the way I see it, in my opinion. Here we're just gonna go for the tower. We don't know where their jungler is. Rumbled like TPs for some reason. Not particularly sure why. I was gonna kill the tower regardless whether he came here or not. Bit of a questionable TP. And then here yeah, I'm not sure about that rumble. Seemed like a bit of an int play, but that's okay. He's been playing pretty well, so you know, you get a few ints in. And here I'm like looking at the fight, make sure I'm not missing. Somehow hits me. So here I decide not to put a point in E because I already have it, like the duration's already kind of really long and they don't have any merc treads, so they're probably gonna die in it regardless. It's kind of my idea there. You can kind of like feel out if you need to put points in W or E. If you're really fed, you could just put points in like W maybe, and if you need to do more damage, it's kind of just like a thing I've been messing around with, is like leveling your skills to what you need in your team. Because my team doesn't need damage, my team needs CC, and my team needs engage. That's kind of like what Everfrost and what Zanya's and what maxing Charm Second does. Yeah, and my vein pinged that she's buying Rapid Fire. That just seems like the worst buy ever. So I was like they're just jumping on you. Why do you need range? I was just like trying to get her to buy PD instead of Rapid Fire, but then she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna try it." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then we'll watch one more fight, and then this will be the end of the VOD review, because pretty much, yeah, here we go. Here I W'd a little bit late. She like jumped on me. I charm her again for 2 seconds. Yeah, it's really that easy. And then I think we just like go force the fight at Baron or something. Alright, now we Herald mid. Make another. I think I make another. Do I? Oh no, my team does. And then I engage here, I believe. So this, I think this is a fight where I kind of pretend, or like I kind of like play like I'm a Kali. Yeah, and here Jinx Zarda is more than Smite, so you know you have to watch out for that now. It's the new objective stealer. So here I'm like getting in there. Like I'm pretty much in the fight, and then I'm just kind of, obviously we shouldn't group up for the Yone, but like I'm engaging the fight. I'm okay taking damage. I'm okay getting queued by the GP and barreled or whatever and hit by the Lulu. And that's kind of just the idea of like how I'm playing. And then after this Baron, we kind of just, I think we just kill the dragon, you know, end the game. Kind of the general premise. And then I go like 5-0 and 13. So I think it was a pretty good game by me. I think the biggest takeaway that you could take is like, while in some of your games you're not going to be playing with as good of a jungle as my Kha'Zix, you could still see what your jungler is trying to do. For instance, if your jungler is just trying to farm and you think their jungler might invade, then you can push out your wave in time so that you can go protect your jungler. Or say your jungler is also invading like mine did, then you can push your wave. I think that's a really important takeaway. And this not only applies to your jungler, it also applies if you think there's going to be a fight bottom, is if you're able to predict that with getting, you know, your specific vision that you're trying to get, then it's this super like literally it's like so OP. I'd say this is not like super impactful and low elo because you won't have that much vision, and like most of low elo is just like not dying to your lane opponent and like killing your lane opponent because everyone's making mistakes everywhere. But as you get higher and higher, learning to get kills around the map and protect your team, like work as a team, is more and more important. Um, I think that's something that I highlighted really well this game specifically. Um, and then one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is like, maxing Charm second and building Zanya's second. Very specific to this game. I don't build Zanya's second every game, but that's because my role within this team composition should be to engage, should be to absorb spells so that my team can actually dish out a ton of damage. And yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot, and I will be back soon with another video. I'll see you later. Peace.